Hi, scholars, and welcome back to Writing with Miss Kitchens. We are now on day 25 of writing. Yesterday, we focused on the problem solutions methods of writing, right, for our persuasive writing. Today, we are going to be writing our letters to send off to our people that we wrote them to. So, you're probably going to have to use some envelopes and some stamps so you can send off your letter to the person you wrote it to. Or if the person that you wrote it to is in your home, you can just simply give it to them. Or if you wrote it to me, you can just post it on the Kami app, on Google Classroom, wherever it is that you can come directly communicate with me, or Miss Hosar or LaFleur. We would definitely read your letters. All right, so before we go into our lesson, Miss Kitchens love to go over the student learning outcomes. Students will be able to reread letters before sending them to make sure they are clear and easy to read. Here you will be using your rubric to see if you have all of the areas that are necessary for your writing to be completed. We'll talk more about that throughout the lesson. Your writing materials for today, you're going to need your writing folder. Of course, we need our writing folder every day just to see and to make sure that we keep our writing nice and neat. You're going to need a pencil or some pencils just in case the pencil that you are using breaks, some crayons, and a plain piece of paper if you are starting a new writing. But remember, we are working to send those letters out to those people that we wrote our letters to today. That is our main focus. So excited. All right, little happy writers. Today, we are going to get ready to mail out our letters. Aren't you super excited about that? I know I am. This is very exciting. However, we need to make sure that our writing is clear and neat, right? Because we want our readers to be able to understand what it is that we are trying to say. Just like every day during this unit, we've been talking about the author's purpose to persuade. So when you are rereading your writing, you want to make sure that you are writing to convince someone to do something, make someone believe in something, and or change someone's mind. Okay? That's what you should have done in your letter, right? You want to make sure that you are still trying to persuade your readers into one of these type of categories. And this is just our sentence starters, just for if you were having a difficult time starting your writing. These were some things that you could have said to start your writing. These were the questions that we went over yesterday about the problems and solutions. Here, if you did not get to complete that or finish that, this is where you can continue on asking yourself, what are some solutions to this problem? How will that solution help the problem? So if you're writing a letter to someone when you're talking about a problem and some solutions to help that problem, fix that problem, you want to ask yourself these questions so that you can actually nail it, right? We are always looking to nail, one second, sweetheart. We're always looking to nail our writing pieces so that our readers can actually get the lesson out of our writing. Here is a student work example that I felt was very effective. That means that was good. And they worked really hard to make sure that they were trying to help their readers understand what they were doing to make the world a better place and what their readers can do to make the world a better place. So this is an example from Karaji Barton. And in this writing piece, the student drew a picture, right? And the picture has colors. That's why I say it's so important to have your crayons, because look how beautiful that picture is. It's amazing. Great job. So here it says, to make the world a better place, we need to stay home. That is very true, because right now we are all going through a pandemic of the coronavirus. So we've been hearing a lot of people talking about us staying home so that we can keep, so that we can stop the spread of the coronavirus. And this scholar was very, very persuasive when they said, to make sure that you stay home because you don't want to spread the virus, right? So I got that message from this scholar. Great job, Karaji. So here is the checklist that you are going to be using to make sure that your writing is neat and readable, right? I want you to just focus on this section here, okay? Sorry, my cursor is all over the place. You want to focus on my story makes sense. That's the area that you're focusing on today, because when your reader is reading your letter, if there's someone who is not with you every day, if there's someone that you mailed your letter to, you want to trust that what you are saying in your writing, that message got across to them because it was clear and neat, right? So you're going to focus on the my story makes sense section of the checklist, and you should be good, okay? How can I be successful in today's writing? Well, first, you need to make sure that you have all your materials. So you're going to need an envelope, a stamp, if you're mailing your letter to someone. And you also need your illustrated rubric checklist, because you need to also be checking for spelling, spacing, punctuation, and capital letters at the beginning of your sentences. We always talk about that, okay? So make sure you have those 3 things with you when you are about to get ready to mail off those beautiful, well-written letters, okay? All right, so your have-to today. Your mission today is to make your letters as neat and fancy as possible. I hope that you take time in making your letters look fancy. I love the word fancy. I'm very glad that that word was used in this lesson, because your pictures, just like the picture we've seen here, how this scholar was very intentional about using different colors and making it very vibrant. We always talk about how colors have vibration and meaning to them. Reading this piece made me super happy. So you want to make your readers super happy by using a lot of colors and elaborating in your writing, adding much details so that they can feel happy and they can feel persuaded in whatever it is that you're trying to get them to do. Okay? At the end of today's lesson, we are going to put our letters into envelopes to send them to who you wrote it to. So after you have used all your strategies and tools to make that writing the best writing in the whole wide world, then you're going to mail it off to someone. Make sure you have an adult with you when you are writing who that letter is going to, so that they can help you get their address down and the correct spelling of their name, just in case you don't know how to spell their name. However, we do know how to sound out our letters to create words, so you can do that on a separate sheet of paper before you put their name on the envelope, just in case you had a hard time spelling it. And then you can have an adult check to make sure that you spell their name correctly. Okay? All right. Students' criteria for success. Students will rewrite a letter on fancy paper in a neat and clear way. It doesn't matter if the paper is fancy or not. Those words are going to be fancy, so don't worry about having a colorful paper or anything that is like extra fancy. I'm sure those words that you get down are going to be fancy enough for your readers, so don't worry about that being fancy paper. Students will present their best work. I will be checking for this. I want to make sure that you are using your illustrated rubric checklist, right? In each area, I'm going to grade you to make sure that you have made your writing readable and that it makes sense for you and your readers so that you can get those 2 points. Everyone loves to get those 2 points. When we check those work, get those 2 points, you feel like amazing, right? All right. And students will get ready. Students will get letters ready to mail off. Okay, that's it. That's your have to, and here is how you're going to be successful. Right? And then like each and every day you have your free write where you're going to write in your journal. Maybe you'll write about the process of your writing the letter to whoever you wrote it to and how you felt about writing that letter. Hopefully you felt very confident and very sure of what it is that you were writing to them. That's very important. Okay, so then you have the rest. After you have the rest of writing to do your free write. All right, little scholars, happy writers. We are finished with our writing lesson today. I hope that those letters make it to those people that you wrote to. Make sure that it makes sense to you. And make sure that you come back tomorrow for day 26 of Writing with Miss Kitchens. Happy writing, little writers. Bye.